The Dimensity 9500S as a brand new platform is something entirely unfamiliar to us consumers, and with its debut on the Redmi Turbo 5 Max. For Redmi, getting the optimization and tuning right from the start is absolutely crucial. Performance reviews go live today. As those familiar with my channel know, I don't do benchmarks, we're diving straight into real-world testing. For Genshin Impact, I am using my standard 70-minute test model. The final 40 minutes cover the Sumeru City route, where PerfDog recorded an average frame rate of 60 FPS. On current flagship platforms, hitting full frame rates is nothing new. We need to look at power consumption and rendering resolution. Let's break them down. Pixel, peeping the screenshots, the Turbo 5 Max renders at 887p. Exactly as expected. At this resolution, and under my specific testing conditions, its average power consumption sits at 4.28 W. Many of you are probably wondering, how does that stack up? So, I pulled data from other platforms in my database for a comparison. Its average power consumption and rendering resolution are remarkably consistent with the Snapdragon 8 Elite devices in my database. You heard that right. The performance of the new Dimensity 9500S is neck and neck with the Snapdragon 8 Elite in Genshin Impact. It's truly solid. But it makes sense. The Dimensity 9500S is built on a 3nm process and features a second-gen all-big core architecture with 30 billion transistors. It is a flagship-grade chip through and through. With the Wild Engine's tuning and robust thermal management, peak device temperature only reached 42 degrees Celsius. Overall, its performance in Genshin Impact is undeniably impressive. Of course, looking at test data from just one game, it is hard to draw a definitive conclusion on its overall performance compared to the Snapdragon 8 Elite. Now, let's move on to the next test. Specifically, a 40-minute run in Honkai Star Rail SES Golden Hour. As for the rendering resolution, this is a point worth noting. Since the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 hasn't been adapted for 972p rendering resolution yet, it stays at only around 763p. Currently, flagship platforms capable of high rendering resolutions include the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5, the Snapdragon 8 Elite, and the Dimensity 9500 and 9400 series. Looking at the Turbo 5 Max screenshots, pixel peeping reveals a solid 997p rendering resolution. Impressive. At this resolution, PerfDog recorded an average frame rate of 59.4 FPS. I was honestly surprised by these results. From the rendering resolution to the average frame rate, its performance is incredibly powerful for its segment. It's safe to say it stands in a league of its own at this price point. But wait, there is more. Its average power consumption is only 6.39 W compared to the Snapdragon 8 Elite devices I recently tested in Vulkan mode. Its overall performance data is actually more impressive, delivering higher frame rates with lower power consumption. The Dimensity 9500S paired with the new Wild Boost performance scheduling. It's no exaggeration to say it's truly remarkable. As for thermals, the peak temperature barely crossed 46 degrees Celsius. Given the Turbo 5 Max's impressive heavy load performance, I'll be further refining my test models and data soon. It seems current flagship platforms need even heavier stress tests to truly show a difference, providing a clearer comparison for everyone. Its data performance in Honkai Star Rail. It's arguably the only device in its class capable of delivering a virtually perfect full-frame experience. Turbo 5 Max's performance is already closing in on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5. It's fair to say that Redmi has pushed the Dimensity 9500S to deliver true flagship-level performance. Many of you are also curious about its real-world performance in Honor of Kings. While I don't have extensive data, I followed up a 70-minute Genshin session with another 30 to 40 minutes of Honor of Kings. The total continuous testing time has reached over 100 minutes. It still maintained a full frame rate, averaging 120.1 FPS. For a phone that can handle games like Genshin and Star Rail, maintaining full frames in Honor of Kings is effortless. Its average power consumption was just over 3 watts at 3.1 W. The overall device temperature stayed around 40 degrees Celsius. Real-world testing shows that Redmi's debut of the Dimensity 9500S handles everything from popular titles like Honor of Kings to heavy hitters like Star Rail and Genshin with ease. Star Rail in particular delivered a near-perfect full-frame experience at a price point dominated by Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 or 8 Elite devices. Its competitive edge is quite clear. This entire round of testing proves 2 key points. First, the Dimensity 9500S is a true flagship platform. From its process node to the all-big core architecture, it holds its own against the Snapdragon 8 with absolutely no problem. Second, Redmi didn't just rush to be the first to launch. They used the Rage engine to fully unleash the performance potential of the Dimensity 9500S. Given the Turbo 5 Max's positioning, if you're looking for powerhouse performance, this phone is well worth the wait.